Good afternoon. Oh. Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, it's a bit later than usual. What time is it? It is 10 to 5 on Monday, April the 20th. Myself and Elliot were training in the garden, so rather than cut that short, we just carried on. So hence I'm a lot later today. We do Iaito, which is Japanese samurai school, and we have got a challenge for 5 days, I think it is, to do Suburi, which are practice cuts. And today was 100 practice cuts, and then they rise till the 5th day is 1,000. So my arms are going to be aching for sure by the end of that. We may keep it up and sort of keep training, but we also did our 16 standing forms, and I also did a video for tenshinwarrior.co.uk, which is our school's website, Tsunami Yodokan, because Shihan will be putting forms on every day to show people what we do. And it's interesting because I've recently got my own sword, my own Iaito, and it's really weird getting used to something and doing something in a different way. And it's something that I've been doing for two years and a bit. So doing it with my sword, I have a very big bruise on my thumb where I'm not used to training with a Suburi. Usually use a wooden one, which is considerably lighter. But I bought a sword, and it won't be my permanent sword that I use most of the time. It's going to be my first sort of practice sword, and it's very pretty. In fact, I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. So this is it. I don't know if you can see it. That's the Cellar with a dragon on it. And then we've got a dragon pattern on what's called the Suba. And then it's a metal bladed katana. They are not sharp. I mean, I wouldn't want to poke someone with the spiky end because it will hurt, but they're not sharp down the blade. They're blunted sports equipment swords. So yeah, I was explaining to Elliot's dad, I think yesterday, the sword law and all of the stuff to do with the swords. The Japanese love to name every bit of everything, which is, why not, eh? And so, yeah. So I've been using that today, and I've got a nice bruise. I don't know if you can see that on my thumb, where I'm not used to having a Suba, which is the hand guard, and so it's been banging into me. And plus, my sword is probably heavier than it should be, but it is the right length. Because when you stand with them hanging down by your side, they shouldn't, holding them, they shouldn't actually touch the floor, and it doesn't. So that's cool. I was pleased to get my sword. I kind of feel worthy of it when I first started it. And I think with a lot of things, when we first start things, we think that we're going to get really good really fast, and we want all of the stuff. But actually, the longer that I did it in the beginning, the less that I wanted it. And I don't know why. I think it became a bit of a psychological thing that actually it was just, I have one now though, so that's it. And we've just been practicing in the very sunny, very windy garden, which is great for my washing today actually. I also did quite a lot of housework this morning, which was a nice productive day. I sort of think that after my couple of days of feeling low and just sort of feeling it, I sort of making sure that there's some space in there for exercise and training, and just actually doing the exercise becomes a mindfulness practice where I'm just doing something and I'm sort of thinking it, and oh, so Elliot has just come on and said that he's saying happy 420, but give me money. Okay, but he wrote it the right way round, so now it looks the wrong way round on Facebook. Haha, Elliot. Never mind. Happy 420, everybody that do indulge. In fact, I will share today somebody that I know and I've bought products off before, is in Spain, and she is doing some videos about growing and about the uses of cannabis, and that's Sarah Sativa, who knows her stuff, knows about the female male things. I was reading her thing a couple of days ago, and she's been posting videos now and again of different things to do with cannabis and to do with growing it. I think she lives in a country where actually she is the laws are quite different to here, unfortunately. It'd be good if the laws were similar to that. I think anybody should be able to grow whatever plants they wish. And a lot of people, and hemp and stuff is used in a good way. So yeah, happy 420, as Elliot said. I've still said it. Thanks, son. Last night I turned all my lights off, put my headphones in, and I watched the play for nearly an hour from Don't Go Into the Cellar theatre production. They're doing another one at the beginning of May, and obviously they're, like a lot of other people, have had a lot of their funding cut. So that was really good last night. It was sort of short stories from Edgar Allan Poe, which, as I don't know if you know, if you don't know, they're kind of creepy and kind of surreal and a bit gory. I mean, when they're written, this is, I think, Victorian Gothic stuff. Somebody, I'm sure, will correct me if not. But Jonathan Goodwin, I think, is the actor that acted the part, and it's very, very good. I think they're taking the video down today, so if you do want to watch it, tune in. I think it helped that there was like it was kind of creepy because I turned all the lights off and just had my earphones in and just had it in my bedroom, so it was kind of a quieter place in the house. There's the iPad telling me that a game has loaded or whatever it's doing. Yeah, so I hope that you're all doing all right. I think exercise is helping me. I'm going to have my dinner early and chill for a bit because I'm being picked up at 8:30 to go out for the volunteer work that I do for Thames Outreach. So I'll be out from about 8:30 until about maybe 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. It was an interesting conversation I had with the youngest yesterday, who was very worried about me going out doing volunteer work. And I think that's something that has to be recognised, that the children don't necessarily know how to process this because it is so weird. And another friend's little girl said that she didn't want to get the big germ, or her mummy to get the big germ. And yeah, the children are sort of dealing with this too, and you think they're not paying much attention. But he's made me promise to come in, change all my clothes, and then sort of shower. So I think just, washing is good advice anyway. That's what we've been advised to do, right? So it'd be interesting to see how different the volunteer work is this evening from the last shift that I did a few weeks ago. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm hoping that a lot of the homeless that we go to see, if we see any today, are getting the help they need to isolate and to be able to quarantine and self-isolate and be safe in this lockdown, and they have access to the things that they need. Because, even though all of us in flats and houses and different places are finding it harder to get things, and it's a little bit more, takes a bit longer to go shopping, for example, and we can't just get what we want. I can't imagine being homeless at the moment and having to deal with the whole the normal stuff that being homeless brings, and then all of this as well, because there isn't people out, and regardless of what you think about begging, it doesn't bother me. I don't think most of the time it's a problem, and for some people that's the only income that they get, and it's a whole other conversation whether they should do it, but obviously not many people around at the moment, so there are going to be some real difficulties for those homeless people at the moment, I think. So I'll see what happens tomorrow, and I'll tell you about it tomorrow, I'm sure, in the big scheme of talking about shit. Part of me kind of doesn't believe that I've got to number 25 But also part of me believes that, understands that we've got to number 25 and there's a few more weeks to go. And I think, you know, it's really important just to look after yourselves the best that you can and look after the people around you. I'm really sort of starting to miss people. And yes, there is a house here of my children, and the kids' dad lives here also. And it's, so there is people around. But I also weirdly am missing the moments where there's no one in the house, like there would occasionally be. So I'm getting, you know, there isn't that time where you get a little bit of peace and quiet. Yesterday I took the dog out as well, and rather than, it was a little bit stressful over the park, because there does seem to be more people walking more than usual, and some of those don't seem to sort of get the 2 meters apart thing. But never mind. So rather than, I just walked back with the big dog a different way. And actually it was a lot quieter, and it gave him some new smells, which was nice, and gave me some different things to look at. There was actually a really, I don't know if you've all seen or whether your kids have done it, mine haven't, because, you know, 2 of them are adults, but there's these windows that have rainbows on. And there was a window actually that had done a rainbow of butterflies, but also at the end of it had thank you NHS, which is really cool. It was really lovely to see. And I sort of saw a few thank you NHS and rainbows and stuff, and that's nice, because I think it sort of gives us a sense of community and solidarity with each other, even though we're not able to sort of see each other at the moment. And yeah, so that's my day today. I'm sort of cooking lasagna now, and then gonna eat that, do my guitar lesson, because that's important, because, you know, those calluses are getting really hard now, so got to keep them going. Kind of enjoying it, and also sort of get a bit infuriated by doing the guitar as well. It's a bit weird sort of doing it every day and doing 2 different lessons, because I'm learning 2 different things. And some of the stuff on the guitar I get more, and some of it I'm just like, oh, how can my fingers move from there to there? But it keeps my brain going, and it's sort of learning something new, and it does seem to be coming together a bit more now. It doesn't sound like I'm just making freaking noise. It's like, okay, yeah, it is noise still, but it sounds like it's an actual noise in order, which is all we can aim for, right? Noise in order. I really wish I'd learned, like I said before, an instrument before, but I haven't, so now I'm learning it now. Who says it's too late in your mid-40s to learn something? I certainly don't, and I'll probably spend the rest of my life learning new things. I gave my room a good old clean as well, and a sort out and dusted and hoovered, so when I come in from the volunteer stuff this evening, it'll be nice and be all ready to get into bed and hopefully have a lay-in tomorrow. I think last time I got back about 1:30, I think. And it isn't a long evening, but when you're meeting clients that have different needs and you're sort of dealing with them, you are rightly so on my best behaviour, watching what I say, and being very, very aware of my privilege and what I have and what they don't have at this point. I'm just making sure that, you know, in that chit chat, I'm not talking about a holiday that I'm going on, although not yet, obviously, and just things that I sort of have. It's more general chit chat rather than anything that could be a bit of a dickhead thing to say, right? You know that's my motto, don't be a dick. And yet so often I am. So tonight, volunteer work. Tomorrow, during the day, we'll be sleeping, and then myself and Elliot still has extra Suburi Challenge. So it's nice that I've got things in my head I sort of need to do. I do also need to send back a parcel, and I'm kind of dreading the post office a bit, but I try to do it when the queue hopefully won't be so big. But yeah, it's amazing that there's so many people that are still working, that are kind of putting themselves out there, the postman, parcel people, and doing a really good job of keeping all of those things going. Yeah. So I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope that your Monday is all right. And if it's not all right, you know where I am. Give me a message. Give me a ring. All right, probably don't give me a ring. Yeah, give me a ring if you want. Give me a ring and stay safe. Stay safe. That's really hard to say. Stay safe. All right, yeah, stay safe. See you later, guys.